Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good morning.
Morning.
You getting a fight?
Bro.
What's up with your nose, fam?
They say your nose and your ears never stop growing. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah, apparently that's the thing. That's why all old people look like giant fucking just ears and noses. Apparently your nose never stops growing. And I have now officially outgrown Speedo goggles, Speedo sprints that I've been wearing literally for 45 years. I've been wearing, no joke, my preferred, and I've gone through a million different things over the years, but I always come back to the old Speedo sprints with just a little foam around the eyes, and it's official. Can't do it anymore. I've been doing long swims lately, and my nose is just getting carved up, so I'm gonna have to find a new goggle method.
Well, you made me go down the rabbit hole. It's a common misconception. Here's what it is.
Okay.
It's similar. As we age, the cartilage in our noses and ears loses elasticity and gravity, causing it to sag and droop.
Interesting.
Additionally, the skin around these features becomes thinner and less supportive, contributing to the perceived increase in size. So it's still yeah. It's like it's getting bigger.
I mean, as basically as an adult, whenever I swam, I would get like a little mark. I just have a Roman ass nose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's to the point, I guess maybe because I'm swimming longer, and I'm swimming more frequently, that like the red marks then getting whatever and then whatever. And I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to find a new goggles. I put it on my Instagram yesterday. I was like, anybody know the goggles the Italian and or Israeli swim teams use? I need big ass nose goggles.
It took me a second. I was like, oh yeah, the noses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important to have the right set of goggles. It is though.
And it's funny because through the years there's been a lot of like, this is the goggle all the guys are wearing, and this is the goggle all the guys are, and I'm just like, Speedo sprints, man. In the end, it's just like all I've ever wanted and needed. I've tried others, and I always come back to, and I don't know. Maybe I have to like 3D print my own nose bridge or something like that. But
so I kind of want to circle back to something from last episode about your listening to the, for the underwater. So you can only download. Okay, that was it.
Yeah.
You just couldn't stream.
Yeah. Which is annoying. And it's already been annoying. And then I went to put the other day.
But why is it that bad? You can't just, like, what's like,
because it's just like
there's a limit.
The limit's pretty big, but there's no controls. So it's just like you can skip songs, but there's no like, so I got to like take out, like, so when I put the podcast in the other day, now I got to take it out. Otherwise, like I got an hour of podcast in there that I already listened to. So I went to put on the other day. Justin and I went to the Tyler Childers show. So I was like, oh, I downloaded the concert playlist. Like now Apple does like on tour. So you can download playlists of like what he's playing on this tour. I was like, oh, that'll be great. I got an hour swim before I go to the concert. I'm just going to like listen to what he's playing. I get to the pool. I downloaded it. I loaded it. All of a sudden, still just a Mookie Betts podcast with Pete Alonso. I'm like, fuck me. I just spent an hour doing this, fucking 20 minutes doing this or whatever. And now the only fucking thing I have is something I already listened to.
Yeah, that does suck.
So I don't know. Maybe there's somebody out there that wants to partner with me on a better system for this.
Yeah, it's always funny to me, like certain areas that just didn't develop technologically.
Pretty good though. It's like that Louis C.K. joke. My underwater headset for listening to podcasts while I swim isn't working quite like how I need it to. Talk about first world problems.
Oh yeah. Wait, does he have that? Or are you talking about the plane bit?
Yeah, exactly.
And the Wi-Fi, right? Was that
Yeah.
the Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
That one dude survived, by the way. That awful plane crash. One dude survived.
What are you talking about?
The one in India?
I don't know.
It was
that
terrible. Recent? Yesterday, man.
Oh wow. One dude survived, one survivor?
I think it was like 242. It was
Dustin Hoffman. Isn't there a movie where he's the only survivor of a plane crash?
I don't know, but it was his first ever 787, but another Boeing problem. Apparently there's like serious Boeing problems now. But like you see it take off and it just I think it was 242 people. And here's what's crazy. Everybody dead. I was like reading into the guy who survived. He was exit row by window. They're like saying that something about that. And here's the thing. Light scratches.
Crazy.
Like walked away.
Yeah.
Everyone else dead. That's I think that would almost be a tough adjustment in life after that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like mentally.
There's literally a movie. I think it's Dustin Hoffman, or it might be where this is the whole
everybody dies,
man. Hero, maybe. Serial swindler Dustin Hoffman makes the first self-destruction of his life when no, that's not it. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. There's a story about there's a movie about like one person for surviving a plane crash and they're all fucked up after. Maybe I'm confusing Hero with this movie.
It's like the one guy who can't bust a nut in like a Bonnie Blue gangbang or something. Was she the one who was just banned from OnlyFans?
I don't know. I know she is the gangbang girl, though. Why? OnlyFans has rules. You can get fucked on camera, just not by 100 people simultaneously.
Somebody was banned for the petting zoo thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the petting zoo thing. Apparently, OnlyFans has its limits. According to report, she was banned after she slept with more than 1,000 men in one day. So they were calling it a petting zoo. The adult content creators page was pulled after her, in quotes, extreme challenge content, and then also, in quotes, crossed the line. It's amazing. Bonnie Blue is taking things way too far. She makes tens of thousands a month via OnlyFans, and now that's gone. A source told the outlet. Her page has officially been pulled. Her latest stunts have gone too far.
I love that she's just a David Blaine of taking cock. She's like, what is she going to do next?
Yeah, man. So what is this? What is the petting zoo? She canceled her petting zoo per the outlet. She planned to be naked and tied up in a glass box and allow participants to do whatever they wanted to her. She had hoped to sleep with 2,000 men during this stunt. I mean, you like, where was she during this Diddy stuff?
Yeah.
Diddy could have had a one-man show. Like he didn't need to do that to all these women. You just like bring in Bonnie Blue, put her on a bad boy contract.
I think Diddy's thing was fucking control. So
no. You just killed my
sorry.
My premise. Bad boy, why don't you come out and play? And she's like, meow, I'm in my petting zoo.
I don't think cats are usually in petting zoos. It's more like goats and stuff.
That's true.
There are like cat cafes, though.
I was thinking last night, I was like, I wonder if the Johnson & Johnson baby oil, if like him being in prison, it's affected their sales. I can't get enough of the 50 Cent trolling.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know how much you follow that. He made that Family Matters.
yeah, incredible.
So funny. Let's talk NBA Finals.
Well, I know that's on the docket, but also I saw the rundown. I know you wanted to do some Israel Palestine stuff off the top here.
I did.
Let's just get 45 minutes of that out of the way.
I did. I want to talk a little Israel, Palestine, Iran. Is it Iran? I've never understood.
You ran to the store. Iran is the country.
Is it Iran?
Yeah,
I always called it Iran. That's some Midwest shit. It's Iran.
Iran.
Yo, you know who's underrated is Iranian chicks, man. I think they're very attractive.
Okay.
And then they dubbed themselves Persian in LA, which you and I've talked about. I've never understood.
Yeah.
Now they're high maintenance. I know I'm stereotyping, but like it's a high maintenance group, but like pretty hot, I think. I think that look. That's my take.
Hot takes with Andy Ruther. Hot Middle East takes.
Yo, man.
Takes as hot as the Middle East deserts.
You know what I want to have a hot take on, or we should discuss before we hop into the actual game. Can we discuss this? Can we discuss this Reggie Miller outfit? Did you see this?
I did see this. I don't understand.
So Reggie Miller shows up at game 3 wearing a jersey over a yellow Pacers hoodie.
Yeah.
There's a lot to break down in this photo.
Tucked in, but not all the way tucked in.
Yeah.
Also, is it a Mark Jackson jersey?
Is it 13?
Yeah.
Was that his number?
Yeah, but I don't know Reggie was 31.
Yeah, Reggie's 31.
Mark Jackson was 13, but like
13 is like a no name. I looked it up on this roster.
Is a no name on the current Indiana roster.
Let's see.
But it's you can see it's like a hardwood classics. I'm assuming that's a Mark Jackson jersey.
13 is currently Tony Bradley. This is up to date. I don't know. But why are you wearing? Well, before we even get to the outfit, like how he's wearing it, you played for the Pacers and you showing up. We've already discussed grown men wearing NBA jerseys is already cringe.
Yeah, at least he's got a shirt on underneath.
That's true. He's not Jonah Hill.
Yeah,
but you're like, hey, I'm gonna go to a Pacers game. Dude, you're Pacer royalty, man. You're one of their best players of all time, the team's history. Why are you wearing a jersey? Can you imagine Shaq showing up to a Laker game, putting on a jersey?
Putting on the jersey of like a point guard that he played back in the day. You think you've showed us a Magic game in a Scott Skiles jersey? And you're like, what's Shaq doing?
I mean, it's like Dirk showing up to a Mavs game in a JJ Barea jersey.
Yeah.
It's a weird move.
A lot of weird moves. And then is that his son next to him?
Yeah.
With the Reggie choke t-shirt on?
Yeah.
All right. So you're wearing Mark Jackson's Hardwood Classics jersey, and then your kid's wearing you.
Yeah.
Can I hold on one second?
Yeah. Take it. You know, I find it, I don't know. I find the whole thing very odd, to be honest. He shows up again as a former player wearing, I mean, guys, do any former players, but then also do another sport. Right? You imagine Joe Montana showing up to a Niners game? They cut to the suite. Montana's in a Jerry Rice jersey. You're like, what is this guy doing? And then he put it on over the hoodie. And it's kind of tucked in. Kind of not. I just, I always wonder when I see these things. I go, nobody looked at him and said, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Go upstairs and change." Like nobody in his life just said, "Hey, man, this ain't it. Change your outfit." You know, when we met Michael Irvin at the NFL Network,
Yeah.
he was like, "Hey, my wife does all my outfits.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it." That's what Reggie needs.
What was the thing? What was the thing back in the day with Reggie and the wife cheating and the didn't somebody like accuse Reggie with like a plane flying over Malibu of cheating, of fucking his wife or something like that? We definitely talked about that on this show. I think somebody bought like a plane with the sign behind it being like, "Hey, Reggie Miller, stop fucking people's wives."
No.
Yeah, almost positive.
This headline comes from August 11, 2009. Who's behind the aerial attack on Reggie Miller? This is from LA. A millionaire heir paid for a plane that delivered a public scolding of Reggie Miller. Alex von Furstenberg, 38-year-old son of designer Diane von Furstenberg, media magnate Barry Diller, paid for the plane that flew over SoCal beaches Saturday. And it read, "Reggie Miller, stop pursuing married women." I think I might have seen that live. I'm being dead serious.
Yeah.
I would have been on the beach August 11th, 2009. I'm on the beach in that time frame. A man who answered the phone at von Furstenberg's Beverly Hills home said he was on vacation, according to the Daily Breeze. His attorney said he could not comment, according to the newspaper. This was in response to claims that Miller pursued his fiancée. Miller's attorneys told the Post that Kay sent 2 photos, including one of her in bed wearing a bathing suit, to Miller. Oh, so they're trying to claim she was after Miller. Bro, that's a story that,
if I'm an OKC fan, that's what I wear a t-shirt of to the next game. Oh, you're doing the Reggie Miller, you're putting your kid in the Reggie Miller choke thing? I'm putting my kid in a picture of the banner that was behind the plane.
It's crazy. Like, again, you like pre-social media 2009. Can you imagine that? Dude, that should happen in 2025.
Yeah. Be crazy.
I'm really shocked how game 3 went, man.
Hold on. Before we get into the actual breakdown, it's a requirement that I do this. So I saw clips, I saw videos, I heard Bill Simmons talk about it. Sounds like the Indiana Pacers fans pretty turnt on the streets of Indiana after that game. And I think we have to ask, guys, you didn't win the NBA championship. Like, do we need to calm down a little bit? You haven't won the title. We're celebrating in the streets now? Game 3 of a 7-game series? We're just going to like have a parade? Is it too early? Is this going to affect them going forward? I know they won game 3 and they really have, they're in the driver's seat in this series. But I think we have to ask, does this hurt them in the long run? That they seem to have felt like they won the whole thing already. Does this affect them going forward?
Is this just you're being butthurt about questions of Knicks fans celebrating after the Eastern Conference Finals?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
I'm just I think it has to be asked.
Well, first of all, I haven't, unless I missed some stuff. I'm sure it wasn't to the level of Knicks fans, right?
I don't know. Heard it was pretty wild.
Where'd you hear that? Where'd you hear that?
I saw a video. I saw clips. I saw,
An Applebee's. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we showed the watch party from that one thing, and I forget, Fort Wayne, Indiana. It wasn't exactly turnt.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were celebrating. You always have to take a dig, don't you? What was it? Bill Simmons saying this?
Well, he was there. Apparently, he said it. But no, I mean, I saw some clips and some videos of like that. There was excitement. There was excitement on the streets of Indiana as the people poured out into the streets. Cars were honking their horns, which has never happened in Indiana. People were celebrating.
Well,
and I guess it's just it's just kind of a like I think we have to talk about. It's like pimping a home run that you're not sure is out yet, right? Kobe was like, "Job's not done," And I think we just have to. Are they letting their foot off the gas as a fan base here, celebrating this victory before they've wrapped anything up? I mean, maybe save the parades till the parade.
I think they still lose the series.
Okay. Obviously not in 5.
No, I've been wrong all the way, so I'll just continue to be wrong. I'll just say all the wrong predictions. Yeah, I was surprised how that game ended up going. I mean, it was a good game, and obviously they pulled out in the end.
Obviously the Pacers have this, have the late rally in them, but I was actually listening to, and I didn't finish it, the Roommates podcast, which is the first one they've put out after they've been eliminated. And, the question was, what do you think we got to change to next year? Or like, the first question was like, talk about the end of that Pacers game and like what the Pacers have been able to do. And they said, the Pacers play with this pace. And basically it wasn't said word for word, but essentially when they see the finish line, they know that they just have one last sprint in them because they know when the game's going to come to an end. So it's like, all right, we've played at this pace, but now we can take it up a notch for this. We've got 4 minutes of just like go hard in us now. So let's just go incredibly hard for the next 4 minutes. And that's where teams get. And Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart were saying what we needed to do is not change our game, not go into that, oh, now we got to run clock. Now we got to whatever. It's like you built this big lead. Play exactly the same way. Sort of what I was saying, a couple episodes ago, which is like the NBA equivalent of the prevent. Just play what you got you that lead. And I'm doubling down on this. I checked the box score this morning to confirm what my eyes saw on Wednesday. Isaiah Hartenstein played 18 minutes. Like, you are a 68-win team. Why are you changing your rotations from the regular season? You're a super deep team. Tom Thibodeau had to change his rotations from the regular season because in the regular season, he played 6.5 guys. You're a super deep team that won 68 wins. Good props, all the props in the world to the Pacers for getting, all the props in the world for the Pacers and Rick Carlisle for forcing an adjustment in your rotations and forcing an adjustment in your strategy and making you feel some sort of way that like what you have been doing doesn't work. But I don't agree. Every single game, you're up fucking 9 points, 10 points, 12 points, 15 points. Just play your game. To me, I think you have to give props to the Pacers. They took care of business at home. They got one on the road, and now they've won the first game back. So obviously they're up 2-1. I just think it's being overthunk. You're overthinking it.
Well, again, they are very similar teams as far as the depth, and it's like the big difference to me in that last game is they held SGA in check.
Right.
So it's like that's the difference maker. They're both going to have, it's just they get so many contributions. I saw a stat. It's not a major stat, but it's like an interesting stat that TJ McConnell was the first ever off the bench in an NBA Finals, 10.5 assist, 5 steal. And you're like, oh, those aren't crazy numbers. But the reason I'm bringing them up is like but like that's a big contribution for a bench guy. Like the 5 steals.
Yeah.
Like those small amount of possessions change. They change a game.
Absolutely. And I think that, you even see it with SGA down the stretch. And I always hate, the narrative. This is not an attack on SGA in terms of like, he doesn't have the killer instinct or whatever, but because I think that's always dumb. And I think smart players always adjust how they're going to play their game based on what they're seeing in front of them. But it felt like even down the stretch, like, don't change what you're doing. It was like, there was a couple moments where I was like, why did you just pass up on that 3? Why did you just pass up on that shot? Why did you just pass up on that shot? And it almost feels like he's like, oh, well, we don't need a 3 right now. And I can get a better look than that. And it's just like, the instinctual shot is always going to be better than the shot that you work 5 more seconds for. It's like the instinctual shot is the one that you kind of trust you're going to make. Now, again, you have to give the Pacers credit for attacking in a sort of way that gives you that hesitation. But if I was their coach, I'd be like, we're a 68-win team. What are we hesitating for? What are we hesitating in anything for? Play your fucking game. Because here's the counterpoint to that. The counterpoint to that is that's exactly what Indiana's doing. Indiana, from the beginning of this playoffs to being up 2-1 in the NBA Finals, is like, you're not going to tell us how this game's going to go. We're going to play this style of basketball, whether you like it or not. We're going to dance with the girl that brought us, and let's see what happens. Now, again, great coaches and great players adjust based on their, what this matchup is and what you're doing in any certain situation. But in this particular NBA Finals, I don't think that we have this mismatch of styles or this mismatch of depth or this mismatch of, roster builds that is like, oh, well, we like to play big, but now we got to go small, or we like to play small, or now we got to go big. It's like they're very similar teams in terms of where they're deep, how they like to play, how they're like, obviously the Pacers like to get out and go more. The Thunder work better in that half court with like letting SGA do his thing. But like both these teams can run, both these teams shoot threes. Like that game, I believe both teams shot like 25 3-pointers, 27 3-pointers, something like that. Like, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but in games where you're shooting 35, like, we're having the Celtics shoot 50 3-pointers in a game. I think in game 2, the Pacers shot 39 3-pointers, or game 1, maybe they shot 39 3-pointers. It's like if this series, if your box score from minutes to 3-pointers attempted to all that is different than it is in the 75% of your games you played this year, you're playing into the Pacers' hands. They're not going to do that. They're going to play their fucking style. And that's what I think you just kind of got to go little Fast and the Furious style. Like, trust your car.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's game 4 tonight, and you have obviously an extremely pivotal game for the series. I know the stats will say it's like the team that wins game 3 after it's 1-1 is like, I think it's like 89% win the series. I for some reason I don't have confidence in that right now. I think the Thunder win tonight, and then it's like, then they win back home court advantage.
Right. listen, tonight is everything. I like if same way it was in the Knicks. If the Pacers go up 3-1, then we're talking about it's the Pacers to lose or it's a choke. You're like to lose a 3-1 is to choke it away. And they're going, Oklahoma City's on the road here. They won 68 regular season games. They win games on the road. You don't win 68 games. So it's like,
well, they went down. They went. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they go down Denver 2-1?
Yeah. So you win this game, and then it's a 3-game series, and you have home court. That's what it comes down to. And if not, like, this is the most pivotal game in the series, no doubt about it. And I said this about the Knicks series. I don't know if I said it on the show or I was talking to somebody else. It's like, if you lose game 4, right, and you go down 3-1 and you lose game 5, it's over. So game 5 is more pivotal than, I'm like, no, not really, because really you lose this.
Well, only one team.
For all intents and purposes, it's over anyway.
Yeah, it's the Cavs, LeBron Cavs team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only team that's come back from 3-1 in the finals. So, yeah, it really is. I heard Reggie Miller's going to roll in tonight. Who's going to roll in tonight? Rick Smits?
In a Rick Smits jersey?
Yeah.
Well, now that's going to have to even be more tucked in. I got a 7-footers jersey. It's just going to say Pace right at his belt line.
Who else was on some of those squads? Who's some of those guys?
The Davises, Antonio Davis, Dale Davis. Their starting lineup at one point was Mark Jackson, Reggie Miller, Antonio Davis, Dale Davis, Rick Smits. That was their starting lineup for like a good hot minute too.
Man, different game. Like that's your squad, and they were a pretty good team. That's insane. I was thinking tonight, it's like, who's the pressure on more? Is it OKC or is it Indiana?
Yeah, I think it's on OKC because you're on the road and you're getting put obviously Indiana, I think your confidence level, not if you're the players, but if you're an Indiana Pacers fan or whatever, your confidence takes a huge hit if suddenly the series is 2-2. But let's say right now, the average Pacers fan who is maybe even a little, going to be a little bit of a homer or whatever. But like, if you had to ask the average Pacers fan, what kind of confidence do you have to win the series? Do you think they say like 65? I'm 65% confident.
I mean, that's high.
60% confident.
60.
All right. So if they lose tonight, what do you think that drops down to? If you're being realistic, 40, 45, 40. So it's a 20% drop from 60 to 40 if you lose tonight. If you win tonight, your confidence level jumps to 90, 95%. I'm 95% sure we're winning this series, right?
Yeah.
So I think the pressure is on OKC because I don't think you lose. You lose a lot of confidence, but not all that much confidence. All right, it's 2-2. Well, I like our chances. But I think you need an SGA game. I think you need, if you're Oklahoma City, I'll double check it right now, but I think you got to take 35 threes. I think you need an SGA game. I think you need some 3-point shooting. I think you need more Hartenstein minutes because I think for a team that runs, when you're playing the Pacers, for a team that runs, and this is kind of historically, if one of your teams is a go team, the other team needs to win the rebounding battle.
Yeah.
You can't be getting outrun and out rebounded. That's
That's the recipe for disaster.
Is that me?
What's that?
What the fuck just happened?
You there? I lose you, Prano?
I'm getting blasted by audio.
All right, well, you adjust. I don't know what's going on here. My man has more tech issues than anybody in the history of podcasting. It's all the southern sirens, son. They're coming for you. I think Oklahoma City wins tonight.
I can't hear you. What the fuck is going on here?
Check it out. I'll continue. I think Oklahoma City wins tonight. I think they even the series. I think we could be looking at possibly a 7-game series, which would be nice. Game 3 was a really fun game to watch. If you guys watched it, I hope you did. That was a fun game to watch. Now the first 2 games, I'm not saying they weren't fun. They just, you had big Thunder leads, and then obviously the Pacers came back and stole game 1, and OKC didn't give up in game 2. But game 3 was fun. I've enjoyed the atmosphere at these games with the cities. They are turned. Those are cities that don't have too much going on, smaller markets.
All right, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I picture people just getting bombed at these games. Just because, like,
Pacers games?
Yes, because the Pacers, because they're smaller cities. It's got that Midwest. Let's just get annihilated and go crazy.
I suspect you're right.
Like just lit. Like Andy Ruther 2010 lit. Just like, let's fucking go.
I hung out with our boy Jonesy yesterday, and we were talking about you. I was like, yeah. He's like, dude, he's got 2 kids in Ohio. I was like, yeah, it's wild, right? And he's like, that's a guy who, like, I don't remember drinking with him all that often, but every time I remember drinking with him, I was like, this guy shouldn't drink. And I was like, he was like, drinking's going to kill this guy. And I was like, it almost did. He's like, no, I know. But I always thought that about you. I was like, this guy's dangerous to be drinking around.
Oh, yeah, man.
And I was even saying that, like, I remember it. You didn't drink that often.
No.
In comparison to, like,
an alcoholic, no.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know how to, like, my body couldn't handle it. I would just go psycho. I was actually, it's interesting you bring that up. I was sharing some stories with my oldest brother. We were rehashing college stories and just talking about the dumb shit we used to do. And I was just like, dude, it's insane. Just like looking back on, just like casually, just, well, we drove a car. It's like just driving in Las Vegas, having no memory where I parked. And the security guards will be like, I'm like, yo, man, I parked in this casino. I don't know what floor. And like them finding my car, and I just like take off. Like,
wait, them finding your car and then you just getting in the car and driving off?
Yeah. Like all the time. Like, or just like the time that my buddy was in town and we were at Spearmint Rhino until like 6 a.m. And I wake up like 2 in the afternoon the next day. He's on my couch. I open the fridge. There's literally two bags full of Jack in the Box Junior Mac and Cheese. I say to my buddy, he goes, I have no memory. He goes, Ruther, you didn't know where your car was. And then not only did you drive like home, we swung through a Jack in the Box. He's like, yeah, I don't remember it either. Apparently we swung through, got like 10 Junior Bacon Cheeseburgers.
My buddy sent me a friend of mine. He's got a bunch of old video camera footage that he's now digitized and like put on like this like legacy box thing where you can like put all your shit online. And he was like, there's random shit on these videos. He's like, one of these videos is just like, I guess you guys brought this camera when you went down the Kentucky Derby. And I'm watching it. I have no recollection of any of. Not only do
Yeah.
I have no recollection of any of it, I don't remember bringing a video camera to the Kentucky Derby. But apparently I did and filmed the whole thing. And then also I was like, who drove home from that?
It's amazing.
Like I know we drove because I remember parking in some lady's fucking driveway. Nobody on camera in this thing is qualified to be driving home from.
Yeah.
Don't drink and drive, kids.
No, definitely don't drink and drive. And it's crazy.
God, you know what's so crazy is with Uber and Waymo and all this stuff. It's just like you would never even think about doing it. Like a kid would never have to think about doing it today.
You would hope not.
Yeah, you would hope not. I mean, but that's like go-to move with the, my parents always used to say to us, like, oh, if you ever need a ride home, just like call. And we're like, well, it doesn't matter what time. And you're like, yeah, but that comes with it's a whole other world of headaches, right? Like your dad telling you something at 5 p.m. when you go out and he's like watching TV on the couch and you call him at 2 a.m. and him having to like put on pants and leave the house and drive 15 minutes to get you. I don't think he's going to be in the same mood he was when he had his like barbecue happy hour Miller Lite and was like, call me if you need me. So,
yeah.
But now it's like, if you're 20 years old, you're 19 years old, or you're 22 years old or whatever, and your Uber's linked to your parents' account, I'd be like, everybody in this Uber XL Black, we're going to my mom's house.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Rolling back home at Escalade. Hey, you pop off at 7-Eleven. We're going to grab some snacks to bring home.
I don't even know if people talk about it, to be honest, like just how much the rideshare apps have just changed that the drinking and driving or the under the influence of whatever drug. It's still so new in the last like 12, 13 years. It's just I would hope the drunk driving accident. I would love to see this. That'd be an interesting stat look up if they had decreased. But like the truth is, personally, I should have just been in so many more wrecks. just an animal, man.
But then if you're in like Oklahoma City or Indianapolis, they gotta have like. I don't know. I've only like we've been in smaller cities where you're like,
of course they have Uber.
Well, I know they have it, but I'm just wondering, like,
they have it.
They have enough. Like, they have enough to like take care of people coming out of whatever.
Yeah.
Gainesbridge Arena or wherever they're there. Okay. I feel like everybody knows Dale, the Oklahoma City Uber driver.
And it's Dale Davis.
Yeah.
He's got
Antonio and Dale Davis brother Ubers.
Dude, I'd pay for that, man. Which one was the one? Were they both ripped? Who was just ripped?
Dale. They're both pretty ripped. Antonio Davis is pretty. Dale. They're both pretty ripped. Hard to say who was more ripped.
Those guys were jacked.
You know, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson runs a Uber service in Indianapolis as well, but he only backs you places. He slowly backs you out of the.
And then he preaches to you, though. It's the worst Uber service ever. You get in his car and he talks about Jesus and the Bible the whole way home.
I'm going to kill myself because he's about to be the Knicks coach because no one else wants to be the Knicks coach in the like. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what the plan was here.
You mean Mark Jackson is in the hunt for real?
I think Mark Jackson's got to be in the hunt for real because who else is in the hunt? I think I saw a report they were talking about Mike Brown.
Wow.
I was fully in favor. I wasn't like calling for it, but I was fully in favor of firing Tibbs but I said over and over and over again, but who's going to take the job? If you didn't have an idea, I'm not saying you had to, but you didn't have 5 candidates and you were like, we are happy with any of these 5 candidates taking the job. Let's just interview them and see who's best for the thing. If you went into this going, well, I guess Mike Malone's always out there. If push comes to shove, that's a nightmare, dude.
Yeah, you don't want Mark Jackson, man.
No, of course I don't want Mark Jackson. I famously was the guy who predicted all that the Warriors needed to do was fire Mark Jackson.
Yeah, probably we got our Miller Lite bet. We'll just wheel that right in. I mean, I'll be really confident in that Miller Lite bet if they hire Mark Jackson as a coach. What was it? I didn't think they would make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Great weekend for Miller Lite. Father's Day this Friday, or it's this Saturday. It's Sunday. Jesus Christ. 3rd time's a charm.
Well, it's I know it's confusing because this is first Saturday, then there's second Saturday, then there's Father's Day. It does get confusing. If you're celebrating first Saturday, or you're celebrating second Saturday, or you're celebrating what we'll call this weekend and this weekend alone, 3rd Saturday, aka Father's Day, go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports.
Yeah, the grill's gonna be flowing here. Going to the we'll call them the in-laws. Big extended family will be there. They always do it up for the holidays.
I went out and got the 16-ounce pint cans.
Nice.
Justin Wood spoiled me the other night. We went to Tyler Childers. He gave me a Tyler Childers koozie. Bought me a little Tyler Childers on the road tour koozie. And guess what, Andy? It's first Saturday. What time is it here? I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's first Saturday. That's all that matters.
There you go.
Oh, that is a good
sound.
I like this might be the best of all the sounds. The cracking twist sound. Might even be better than the popping bottle sound. Might even be better than the cracked can.
I was I've been thinking a lot about my dad this week. And I was going down we have a little shared album of photos we did after he died on our iPhones. And I went through and I was like, man, a lot of photos of Walt drinking Miller Lite.
I love that.
There's a lot of pics of dad, whether it's at the house, whether it's a corn roast, whether it's like on vacation.
Andy, I think you need a good Walt throwback, drinking a Miller Lite on the Dirty Sports Instagram. Tag Miller Lite. I think we need to make this thing retro Miller Lite picks. I think you should roll out one a week. I think every first Saturday we should get a throwback. We should get a throwback Walt Holden or Joanne for that matter.
Joanne might beat him. Miller Lite Queen over there. Guys, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy Father's Day. Get out by the grill. Miller Lites flow great. Summer grill. They go hand in hand. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Like it says on the screen, go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
What's the Father's Day plans for Andy Ruther?
We're going to go to her parents' house, and they have an extended family, and her parents have a pool. And that way, Isla's got cousins around her age, so she can do that. And I was given options, so I'll do that. She's like, you can stay home and sleep. And I'm like, I'm just going to stay home and sleep? What? Like, that's some weird shit. I'm not doing that. But
you can stay home and sleep like as a Father's Day?
As in, it's just like the sleep's been really rough lately for about a month now.
Yeah.
So like really rough. So baby sleep regressions are a thing. if you ever have kids, you'll like 4-month sleep regression, 6-month, and you're like, what the fuck, man? What do you mean you sleep regress? You were doing so good. You suddenly now just wake up?
Sleep, you're saying regression?
Yeah, that's what they're called. Like you
Okay.
Google it. I had the same thing where it's like they hit 4 months and it's something with their bodies. I don't know what the word would be. But like they go through stuff. And then a lot of times it happens at 6 and it can happen at 8 months. It's just like you're just like, dude, what the hell, man? Like last night, she woke up at midnight, then she woke up at 3, then she woke up at 6. And I was like, you're not even that hungry. Like, what are you doing? And I'll literally say, I'll hold a baby.
I apparently adult sleep regression is real too. I hit 40. I started getting up at about 3 a.m. not knowing. And then it wasn't until I would go into the refrigerator, get myself the bottle. Get some Miller Lite, get my girl to burp me, go back to bed.
That's the way to do it, man. Those burps are key. This is a great segue to do an Ed Orgeron Coach O update. This is a great segue for that. Bro, Coach O, you see this video. He looks great. Coach O looks way better than you and I. Like
Coach O's rich.
Well, I mean, he's bronzed. He's in good shape. He's 63 years old.
I like to think of rust. I'm not bronze as much as I'm antique, saying that.
Well, this guy tried to troll him. He saw him. I don't know where he was at. They're on the beach. They're somewhere. I assume it's Florida or something. I don't know. This guy, well, watch this. And Coach O was like, "What are you doing? Why are you trying to troll me? Look at this idiot."
To bother you.
This
So
guy.
this is from the trolls TikTok, I assume.
Yeah,
Okay.
grown ass man too.
Look at this guy already.
Yeah.
Coach, sorry to bother you. Here we go, baby. Roll.
I mean, hold on. Look at that body on Coach O.
Let's go back to the beginning. Look at cankle necks. That's how you know you're a fucking weirdo southern dork. You gotta just get a cankle for a neck.
Coach, sorry to bother you. Here we go, baby. Roll Tide.
All right, here you go. Not really.
I know. I mean,
What was that about?
What was that about?
I know. And the guy immediately backs off.
I know. Watch this.
look, I respect you as a person. I was a big
What
fan.
was that about?
I respect you as a fan.
I wouldn't take those Tigers to you after taking a picture of you.
I understand.
Have a good day, man.
Hi.
Where you from?
Look, he says, "Have a good day." And then Coach O, this I love. He says, "Have a good day." He's like, "Okay, cool." Like he's actually like a chill guy. But then he's like, "No, I want to go back to this. Like, why did this happen?"
I'm from Alabama.
What part?
Tuscaloosa, actually.
But
So you got to understand that
That's
ain't
cool.
nothing towards you.
No, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But look here, just show respect.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what the fuck, man? Hey, if you're from LSU, you wouldn't go to Nick Saban and say, "Go Tigers," would you?
I think some people would, but
You would.
I want it.
You would.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Cankle necks back down real quick.
Oh. And I'll tell you what, Coach O handled it great because it was like he was firm. He wasn't mean or mad. He's just like,
Yeah.
and he's right. Like you're not going up to Nick Saban and go Tigers.
Yeah. I've been like, Coach O, first of all, go Tigers. Also, quick question. You also coached at USC, and LSU. If a Trojan fought a Tiger, who win in that battle? You got a whole regiment of Trojans coming in there gift horse. But as they're coming out of that gift horse, they're met by a tiger. Who win in that?
I would have been like,
Hey, Coach O, you ever heard the phrase, don't look a gift tiger in the mouth?
"Hey, Coach O, you mean any girls at those gas stations?"
Let me ask you something right now, Kegels. You saw Nick Saban out here. You don't go tiger to him? No, you not, 'cause you wouldn't even recognize that midget fuck with his Bahama hat on. out here looking like a fucking Pikachu. Walking around not knowing who the goddamn president is. Fucking Nick Saban. You know why you wouldn't say it to Nick Saban? Nick Saban don't leave his goddamn basement. Me,
Oh,
I'm out here getting my goddamn rust on, getting my sweat on, getting work. I'm out here doing beachside push-ups. Make sure these pythons is still 19 inches wide. You hit me with a roll tide, I'm gonna roll your ass in the grass.
I'm a gator roll your ass.
I gator rolled Florida Gators. I fought rebels.
I fought Commodores.
I fought other tigers. You ever fight a Commodore? It ain't a 1980s computer, I'll tell you that much right now, goddammit.
Dude, he was literally in the middle of a fucking workout.
Yeah.
Like he would go for a run. Like, I want to know, like, this guy, was it all planned out? Oh, Coach O does this route. It's like me in the old beach workout. Like, he does this every day. He's shirtless. You know what I love about Coach O? Remember it went down with his wife? Like, have you ever seen a guy so happy to leave his wife? Like, since that guy left his wife, he has just been in the best mood ever.
He's been shirtless on Miami Beach every second since.
I don't think he was wearing a shirt that get
September 4th, 2021. Last time I wore a shirt, day I signed my divorce papers.
Oh my God.
She got custody of all my goddamn shirts.
Wait, he's still, is Wikipedia right? He's still married? Whoa.
Only technically, Andy.
What is this?
She my interim wife, if you know what I mean. It ain't a full-time thing, just till we find a better one.
Okay, I'm getting to the bottom of this. Who knows if it's accurate? Oh, no. Yeah, no. He has been divorced twice. He met his second wife on a blind date. Wait, hold on. This is actually a great story. He met his second wife, Kelly, on a blind date while at the 1996 Liberty Bowl.
Wow. What does that even mean? You're there coaching the Liberty Bowl, and they're like, hey, while you're in town, we're going on a blind date?
Apparently. Yeah. In Memphis, Tennessee.
You remember when you would you'd meet girls like on like Tinder or whatever, and they're always like, do I look like, am I what you expected? That was always a question, like in the few fucking app dates. Am I what you expected? Can you imagine Coach O showing up to a blind date? Am I what you expected? She's like, well, I didn't know you were gonna be a fucking character from The Water Boy.
You
I get we had a phone call before we got out here. You know that that my voice, my larynx got chewed out by a gator.
Oh, I didn't know this. When he returned in USC in 2010, Orgeron lived in a hotel across the street from USC's campus, while his wife and children stayed in Louisiana. That's probably where it all started. Coach O was around them SC girls. Oh, I love them little sorority girls on University of
You know, let me hear. I know it don't look like I'm a fraternity boy, and let me just say, I'm not a fraternity boy here at USC, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, and I'm staying there again tonight. I live in one if you want to come over.
Oh my God.
Oh, here's a dirty sports production tip for you. Always do the Miller Lite ad before you do Coach O, so you have something to watch on that voice with.
I wonder if he does Cameo, man. He'd be great for Cameo.
Have you seen the guy on Cameo who does like unhinged prompts?
No.
He buys Cameo and just writes the craziest shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Told the Island Boys his
Yes.
daughter has their first yeast infection.
Yes, I do. I did see that.
Amazing.
It's a great bit. That's a great bit.
Yeah.
I've seen them. Who are the Island Boys? Are they Australians?
No, they're like fucking. They're definitely. I think they're Florida kids or like something like that. They're just
For
like
real?
they're just like cosplaying as like Island Boys. You don't remember that from a couple years ago?
Kind of.
Then there were some like sus videos of them like naked in the hot tub together, and you're like, aren't you guys brothers? Like, what's going on here?
The Incest Boys. They were naked in a hot tub together?
Yeah, there's a lot of suspect videos of the Island Boys.
What's the new term? I heard there's a new term. It's not just sus. It's like susboka.
Never heard of such thing.
I heard it today. Am I just making this up? What's the new term? Yeah, hold on. That's it. No?
Fucking boomer shit right here.
Sussy baka is a popular phrase used in the online gaming community.
Somebody needs to recut that Goodwill Hunting scene where he's in there for the interview. Let me tell you something right now. You sussy baka.
The phrase is a combination of sussy,
Retainer.
meaning suspicious, obviously, and baka is a Japanese word that translates to fool or idiot. Who knows if this is true? I was told this by the woman who I got a back waxing today, Brano. Haven't done it since LA days.
Wow. Did your baby mama be like, it's time to get that back waxed?
She was definitely in for it. She was like, hey man, you got pretty hairy. And I was like, yeah, I used to get my back and shoulders done in LA. And she's like, well, she didn't say I had to, but she's like, yeah. And I had never had a hard wax. Game changer. It's completely different. Where they just rip, the other wax is the paper. This one was like, it just hardens and they peel it off. I mean, it's like night and day.
Night and day what?
So much better. Like it doesn't hurt. And she was telling, I was like, dudes come in here for stuff. And she goes, dude, we do everything. She's and I'm like, she goes, we do balls. And I'm like, what? You're putting this wax? She goes, yeah, man. I got like 10 guys. And I said, I assume they're mostly gay. She's like, they're not. It's like one or two gay dudes. It's straight dudes coming in here. She's like, the whole thing. She goes, and here's what's crazy. It's not even the ball. She said it's like the normal pubic hair actually is more sensitive to the guys. The balls, she's like, dude, you get it clean. Just totally clean.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a no on that.
That's what I was saying.
If you're telling me like she's like when she says everything, I'm like, all right, so if you go like taint butthole stuff like that, but like if you go, let me just say this right now. If you go full all gone wax style on your ball sack and regular pubic area, that's weird.
I agree. I told her that. I said, no way. No way. That's I said, so who's doing it? She goes, well, it's like a lot of these guys that I come, there's like guys, straight dudes in their 40s. I go, that's me.
Wait, I
was like, that's interesting. You know who's not doing that is Coach O.
I don't know. Coach O looks like he might be doing that.
I was gonna say maybe I take that back.
I'm gonna put that Hawaiian tropic on. I ain't trying to get it all up in there. It's trying to be a smooth Hawaiian tropic application. It smells like bananas and cream.
He does look like a Hawaiian tropic type of guy. Did you speaking of balls? Did you see the Justin Turner video?
No, I saw something about it, and then I saw that it was in the queue of your media, so I was like, it's coming.
Oh man, it's so funny. So like I don't know, they picked him as the fan of the game. I guess they were like joking around, so they cut to him, and he's dancing up and down with a set of fake testicles. Slow-mo. Let's go back to that.
That's insane.
Look, dude, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's got that big shit-eating grin.
I'm sure they didn't get any letters about that.
Oh my God, so funny. Dude, I live for that type of shit. Like, I live for that type of stuff. Because I have so many questions, like, where'd you get a fake set of balls? Was it you? Were you like a prankster? Maybe your personality? Was it somebody else on the Cubs? Was this planned out? Were they like the local TV was like, hey, I don't know if that was WGN or what it was. If they were like, hey, we're going to cut to you. We're going to have fun. Like, you're going to be the fan of the game because it's an away game.
Like, I'm going to put nuts on.
And then he's like, oh, I can finally use that fake pair of nuts that I bought.
I feel like it's reverse. I feel like he found the fake pair of nuts, thought it was hilarious, and then was like, you guys should make me the fan of the game.
Oh, so like he like orchestrated the whole thing.
Why would the player be the fan of the game?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I was so confused on.
I think he had to tell them that.
But the fact that they put it in slow-mo, the nuts are just bobbing up and down. I wonder, like, on something like that, does the manager talk to him? Does the team owner? Like, I wonder.
I think they probably don't give a shit unless there's like bad thing. And then they're like, man, what are we doing? But I mean, everybody agrees that's hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny.
Except for like 5 Karens that are going to write letters.
My kids were watching.
And my young boys don't need to know what nutsacks are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
Also, you know who finds that funnier than anybody? The same group of people that any Karen is trying to defend finds it the funniest thing ever. My 11-year-old sons were watching. You know what's the funniest thing in the history of being an 11-year-old boy? Nutsacks.
Yeah.
If Justin Turner had somehow bent over, pulled the nutsack through the back, and farted simultaneously, it would have been like, this is better than fucking Pikachu. Whatever the fuck kids are into.
Yeah. Totally. So damn funny. Did you see Antonio Brown is being
charged with murder or something?
Attempted murder? Bro.
We have a Black Sports Online headline about it. What's going on at BSO.com?
That's a good. Well, their headlines are usually better on Twitter, but let's see. Black Sports Online. Let's see what we got here. The main story right now on Black Sports Online is Liana Linney, I guess, over the moon. I guess that's Travis Taylor's fiance. Over the moon as she attends her first WAGs event after tying the knot. Oh, it's his wife.
Whose wife?
I said Travis Taylor. Sorry, Travis Hunter. He got married.
Oh, okay.
He's moved into. Oh, it's just interesting where he's moved into.
Who? Black Sports Online?
Yeah, he's moved into like teachers banging students as well.
Oh,
like this headline has nothing to do with anything black or sports. Teacher Brittany Fortenberry accused of hosting scream gangbangs with kids dumped by husband. So he's moved into that. By the way, I'll just give a shameless plug. That teacher or that administrator from my school got 3 years, and I'm not going to repeat it. I go fully into it in the Andy Ruther show. Insane. All the texts were leaked in her sentencing.
3 years in jail?
3 years in jail. Insane. I'll just give a quick sneak peek. Again, I cover it for like 20 minutes on this week's show. It's like she was, I was calling her the Diddy of like school teachers and administrators. She was so savage after this kid. Like one was like, hey, during next all school mass, sneak out and come to my office. I'll give you the best blowjob you've ever gotten. Like, wow, they're
how old was the kid that was she?
17. She was, here's what's crazy. She put him on, this is so funny, $100 a month allowance, a pickleball membership. It's so random. She would take him to get him food after she fucked him. Like, there's just so many layers to this. She threatened to kill herself when he broke it off. But like she straight up, if you go like, and I read all the texts, like she straight up groomed this kid. Like I was obviously making jokes, but like the poor kid was like a virgin and like felt weird. And she was like, you're cute. She just like, it's all lined up of like how she calls him cute. Then she kisses him. And then it was like, she just like did a whole like linear setup of day to day of like going through to finally getting him. And then just like didn't want to give it up.
Wild. That was at your school?
My fucking high school.
Wow.
I mean, look, I think it'll help. Like, I think it'll help admission.
So it's not just the men taking advantage of the small boys in the Catholic institutions anymore.
That's the joke my brothers have been making. They go, finally a win. Finally a win. And I still laugh. It's like when all this came out, when I went to the football game, my high school's football game with my brother and my nephew, and it was a playoff game, and my high school was like killing the other team. It was like 42-0 at one point. The other school, to mock my school, was chanting, "Where's Miss Nutley?" And I remember being like, probably giving a hand job to a student under the bleachers. Like, that's your guys' troll. Our students bang like our teachers. That, like, for the record, she's one of those women who, like, you can see she's been through the ringer. But if I was a 17-year-old kid, she'd be like the hottest chick. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you'd be like, oh.
You don't, yeah, as a 17-year-old, you wouldn't be able to notice her suspockiness. I just love the idea of this kid going to fucking get a blowjob during all school mass. And then after all school mass, him and his buddy get in the car. And he's like, you weren't at all school mass. What happened? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. He's like, how was all school mass? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. And the fucking all getting molested on different sides of campus.
It's insane, dude. The pickleball membership is what got me. I was like, what does that even mean? She bought him a pickleball membership.
I love this kid. I love this kid is just like a middle-aged man. He's just getting blowjobs and playing pickleball like he's my age.
By the way, I'm playing
Pickleball?
I got a set for my birthday because they have a court in my neighborhood. I hadn't played. I'm finally going to play next week. I've actually never played pickleball.
I've only played pickleball on. I've never actually played pickleball, but I did. You remember our buddy Ben Goldsmith?
Yeah.
Ben made a movie, a short film about pickleball recently, and I was one of the characters in it. And there's a pickleball tournament scene that I played. So I mock played pickleball.
Well, I think it looks like it could be a lot of fun. I'll report back. Should be good. So back to the Antonio Brown thing real quick. So yeah, he's wanted for attempted murder. There was a celebrity boxing
Gavin
event.
Newsom's wife's pussy or whatever.
So at the time, he claimed he was jumped after this like celebrity boxing event last month, and they brought him in for questioning. He was released. But now apparently they have access to footage because the gunshots were fired. Apparently he fired him. that he was the shooter. Police have obtained footage of what appears to be Brown punching another man before taking the gun of a security. Oh, no. He took the gun of a security officer. I wonder how that played out. And he ran towards the man, and apparently some shots were fired off. Is this going to affect the Twitter page that he does not run?
You're right.
That's my question.
The white MAGA kid who runs Antonio Brown's Twitter page does not know how to get into character for this one.
Like I laugh at his Twitter. Like especially when he's just going so hard at Gavin Newsom. I'm just laughing because it's so absurd. But I'm also like, dude, like I listened out of curiosity. I listened to him on Theo Von.
Who? Antonio Brown?
Oh, it's insane. And I'm like, and it's also just funny seeing like Theo interact with these type of people is funny to me. But like it's the Ocho Cinco thing. Like, dude, you don't run it. Like, why are you telling everybody when like your Twitter feed's brought up? But like also the like the level I follow it. The level of content. You're Antonio Brown, full blown CTE. You're pumping out memes.
Yeah.
Every 20 minutes.
Well, wasn't there like an expose on the kid that ran it?
Yeah, I think it was some white kid. And I don't know if that was confirmed. But like I think some white kid who went to like University of Central Florida or something. I mean,
is there any truth that Jake Bruder runs his?
No, he wouldn't be that funny. I mean, I'm looking now. I mean, there's so much. Dude, he's insane. I'm just going through. I mean, yeah. Ain't no way. I wonder if he has any say.
No.
Oh, shocking. Speaking of University of Central Florida, sorry, I'm just scrolling through. Antonio Brown Jr. in a picture dribbling a basketball, June 11th post, wearing a University of Central Florida basketball jersey. That doesn't line up. Yeah, I mean, this would probably be considered one of the least surprising former players to shoot somebody.
Yeah, but now if they have video, if he stole a security guard's gun, and then they have video of him stealing a gun and then firing it, like he's going to jail, right?
You would think. Again, it's attempted murder.
And then when the Twitter account doesn't cease to exist, we'll know for sure it's not Antonio Brown tweeting from jail. He's like, just here in jail, doing jail things, dog.
I fucked your wife, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
I'm banging her in prison right now. We do have a hotline. What is it? This is such a tough one to remember.
859-832-0478. That's 859-832-0478. Once again, 859-832-0478. Call us.
Yeah. Leave any type of call. Whatever, guys. It's there. I think it's been a tough adjustment.
You get Andy Ruther instead of some digital British lady now.
Yeah, maybe that's why nobody's calling. Nobody wants to hear my fucking voice.
Well, I'm on all socials at Joe Prano. We had a new episode of Love You Stupid came out yesterday. If you want to check that out. Oh, we got to talk about this, Andy. We got to talk about this before we go. You have 5 minutes?
Yeah.
So we did this. I did this. I put the clip up. I did this like would you rather with my fiance, and the thing I started with was would you rather date a guy who's 5'9", and then I went from there, and the whole internet is mad at me because at one point I referred to the 5'9" because she chose 5'9" a few times over different things. And I was like, oh, short kings on a hot streak here. The internet is up in flames that I've referred to people who are 5'9" as short kings. Apparently I have height privilege. So as a 5'9" man yourself, what's your response here?
5'9.5". If we want to be very specific. Well, let's get to what is the average? If you looked it up, I'm actually curious.
The average height in America is 5'9".
So that's average.
I didn't know that. So here's my thing. I didn't know that, and I was like trying to, everybody talks about, girls like guys who are tall. I was just trying to do like would you rather date a short guy or a guy who has this job or a guy who has this as a hobby or a guy who has this or a guy who does that? And I was like, well, I'm not going to go like 5'5". Like that seems like whatever. So I tried to go with like what I thought was short, but also like short, but somebody would still consider dating where it wouldn't be weird. So I was like, 5'9" is short, but it's not like weird short. It's not like you're dating like an almost dwarf. 5'8" and 5'9" and 5'10" men in America are upset at the audacity of me even calling it short. And I was just like, I don't know. Maybe it's also, I guess I just hang out with tall people. I feel like I have like 3 friends who are under 5'10".
I mean,
I feel like you, Jonesy, and Maddie Goldberg are my only friends who are under like 5'9", 5'10".
I've never like viewed myself as short. Like my brothers always have called me short because 3 of them are taller than me. They're all at least 6 foot. So like me and my little brother are the same height. My dad, we're around my dad's height. My dad's like 5'10", but like I also never took it like, I never thought about it, to be honest.
You don't consider yourself a short king?
No, but also again, we've confirmed like the average height,
I know. But
there's
there's Asians and Mexicans in that.
Well, this is literally what it says.
The average height in America is about to jump drastically when I get all of these guys out of the farms and all of these guys out of the kitchen.
It says
it's about to be 6'1". Honestly, the average height in America is going to be 6'2", 6'2.5". I'll still be above average because I'm 6'6", 220.
I
have the exact same build as Mike Trout. It's not weird. Stop asking questions about it.
I've never, very rarely, maybe once or twice, have felt like insecure because of something with my height, like with girls.
Yeah, and nor was I. I wasn't even like. I wasn't even like in attack mode. I wasn't even like trying to make fun of 5'9" guys. Right? I was just like, what's a height I could pick that would be like short for a girl to date, but not. And apparently I'm wrong, and that's fine. I didn't know this.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple girls straight up be like, "Yo, how tall are you?" on dating apps, and I know that's a filter now you can use.
Yeah,
but I'm just like, I'm trying to think like if I've ever dated. I've dated a couple girls that were like in my wheelhouse, like within height, but again, I've never felt like when my brothers always call me short, I just am like, well, you shit on me about everything. So
my Jonesy yesterday was like 5'9" short now. What the fuck? And I was like,
what is he, like 5'6", 5'7"?
5'7", yeah. He's like, I'd kill for those 2 inches. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm 6'4". To me, 5'9" is short.
Yeah.
There's an average guy.
Well, I had a good buddy in Vegas. One of my good buddies was like 5'4", 5'5", and like he was one of those guys who like I always felt like I felt like he's short, bro, because that is.
Here's why I guess it's short it feels crazy to me, is so at 5'9", somebody who's 5'9" is 7 inches shorter than me. So
It's half a foot.
right. So average wise, that means there are as many, like theoretically, there are as many 5'2" adults in America as there are 6'4" adults in America. And that seems crazy. It feels like you don't, but I guess you do.
You do, dude. It's funny. I've noticed there's like a short dad at our daycare, and I'm always like, man,
Not you, a shorter dad.
much shorter.
Okay.
And I always feel bad. I look at the guy and I'm like, oh, you little one, bro. Like 5'3". I'm like,
Yeah.
you're a little man. You're just a little man.
Well, in retrospect, I should have gone with like 5'5" or 5'6" for the question, but
No, it's fine.
But then I was like, well, no one's dating a 5'5" guy. Those guys just die alone in small beds, small hospital beds.
They have their own towns.
Those guys die alone in race car hospital beds.
Oh, that's a bad thing, man. I want a race car bed.
You just put it in park when you're done. When you give up on life, you just put the hospital bed in park.
Yeah. No, I never felt. I'm just like, whatever. Yeah, but dudes are sensitive. That's a touchy issue for dudes.
Yeah. I like, no joke. If I had like known this would be the thing, I'd be like, oh, well, then I'll make it a height that's more popularly considered. But I was also not expecting guys who were like 5'8" and 5'9", like, I'm fucking average height, dog. I was like, okay.
I mean, everybody in Hollywood's short.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You meet these people and you're like, damn, you're short. They're all short.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up. That's our show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend. Have a great Father's Day. And as always, stay dirty.